So with Rockstar releasing a new trailer for GTA 6 and following up with 70 screenshots of the game, something's been on my mind lately about who could possibly be in the game. So today I wanted to dive into something that's been on my mind for a while, and that's whether or not Luis Lopez from the Ballad of Gay Tony could actually show up in GTA 6. Now look, I know there's been no official word from Rockstar, no trailers, no teasers that involve him, but when you take a step back and really look at the bigger picture, there's actually a surprisingly solid case that can be made. And this isn't about wild speculation or hype for the sake of it. This is about what we know, what makes sense, and why I think Luis Lopez might not be finished with the GTA universe just yet. So let's start with the basics. Just in case you need a refresher or you never played the episodes from Liberty City, Luis Lopez was the protagonist of The Ballad of Gay Tony, which was the second major story DLC for GTA 4. In that story, he's the personal bodyguard, fixer, and basically right-hand man of Tony Prince, a paranoid, crazy, but somehow lovable nightclub owner, trying to stay afloat in Liberty City's chaotic underworld. Luis was a really interesting contrast to the other GTA 4 protagonists, Nico and Johnny, where Nico was a war-hardened immigrant dealing with PTSD and betrayal, and Johnny was a grungy biker in a crumbling brotherhood. Luis brought a different energy. He had charisma, he was younger, sharper, and more in tune with the nightlife and street culture of Liberty City. But he wasn't just a muscle guy, he had a conscience. He was a street smart, loyal, and while he definitely wasn't afraid to get violent, he also showed real depth. And unlike a lot of GTA characters, he made it out. No dramatic deaths, no betrayal. Luis walked away at the end of Ballad of Gay Tony with some cash, his mentor Tony still alive, and the nightclub business still intact. That alone sets him apart from the rest. That's the question, so where is Luis now? Because here's the thing, Rockstar doesn't usually just leave characters or main characters hanging without purpose. Luis had a clean exit, sure, but it wasn't definitive. His arc ended with possibility. Unlike Johnny, who we all know got reintroduced into GTA 5 just to get brutally killed by Trevor, Luis's story ended in a way that left the door wide open. Now, fast forward to GTA Online, specifically the After Hours update in 2018, Rockstar brought back Tony Prince. He's once again running the nightclub scene. This time he's in Los Santos, helping the player manage clubs as a front for criminal operations. But Luis, he's nowhere to be found. But I think he was mentioned. Last time I recall, there was an Easter egg where Tony had a picture of Luis on his desk of when he was in the military. But besides that, I'm pretty sure he was not mentioned at all, in dialogue. And this may have been intentional. Some fans chalked it up to be a missed opportunity, but others, and I'd count myself in this group, think Rockstar might have held him back on purpose, because if you're saving someone for a big return, GTA 6 would be the place to do it, Now, let's talk about why Luis would actually fit into GTA 6, especially since we obviously know it takes place in Vice City and the city of Leonida. Yeah, this place has the palm trees, the neon lights, the Latin culture, drugs, luxury, and nightlife. There's clubs all over the place, people are always doing things. You know how it is. It's basically the Ballad of Gay Tony on steroids, if you think about it. Luis is Dominican American. He grew up on the East Coast. He's culturally and geographically aligned with that whole world, and more importantly, he's been around the exact mix of crime and high society before. Think about it. Vice City has always been about contrast, the glitz and the glamour, versus the dirty underbelly. That's exactly what Luis's story was built around. He could have easily relocated. Maybe Liberty City got too hot. Maybe he wanted to expand the business. Maybe he and Tony had a falling out, and now he's doing his own thing. And there's so many ways Rockstar could use him. He could be a mission giver, the owner of a high-end club, or even a rival entrepreneur. Maybe he's changed, maybe the years hardened him, or maybe he's still that same guy, caught between doing the right thing and surviving in a corrupt world. Now let's take a step back and look at how Rockstar treats returning characters. They don't overdo it, but they do bring people back, and when it fits with the narrative especially. In GTA 5, we saw Pac-Man McCreary from GTA 4. You could recruit him as a heist member if you found him in the right spot. Karen Daniels, aka Michelle, appears as a FIB agent. Even Nico gets name dropped here and there, and of course Johnny came back briefly. So Rockstar does respect their characters' histories sometimes, yeah. And they like to weave those legacies into the world without making them the center of attention. Luis would be a perfect fit for that. He doesn't need to be a main character again, and he could still have some weight in the story, A cameo, a few missions, even just a presence in the city. that longtime fans could recognize and appreciate. And let's be honest, GTA 6 is going to be the biggest game ever made, and a whole new level of storytelling. If there was ever a time to reintroduce someone like Luis, I think this would be a great time. Mario de Leon, the actor for Luis's character. Unlike some of the other GTA actors like Ned Luke or Stephen Ogg, Mario hasn't really been active in the Rockstar fan community. He's not doing conventions, he's not dropping hints on social media, he's not teasing anything, he's been kind of just doing his own thing, you know? But that doesn't necessarily mean he's out of the picture. Rockstar is known for playing things close to the chest if they wanted him back. They could absolutely make it happen before anyone knowing. They've done it before. And honestly, if they don't bring Luis back in some capacity, especially if the setting is Vice City, that's a pretty big missed opportunity in my opinion. Luis is quite a rare character, you know, you don't really see people talk about him much because it was a DLC, so he wasn't like an entire game focused on him, but you know, I feel like he deserves attention, you know, he was a pretty fun character to play as. So yeah, do I think Luis Lopez could return in GTA 6? Yeah, I do, honestly. I don't think he'll be a main character, obviously, but I think he's got every reason to show up in some way. You know, he survived, he grew, he fits the vibe of Vice City like perfectly. And from a narrative standpoint, he brings something unique. Someone who's walked the line between loyalty and ambition. That's the kind of complexity Rockstar loves. But hey, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Would you like to see Luis back in the next GTA? Or do you think his story is better left untouched? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And that's it from me, y'all. Peace.